So you've probably been there, right? You ask an AI a question, and what you get back is, well, pretty useless. We have all felt that frustration. But what if the problem isn't the AI? What if it's the way we're asking? In this explainer, we're going to fix that. We're going to turn those frustrating AI fails into genuinely productive conversations. Let's dive in.
Here's what we've got on deck. First, we'll get right to the heart of the problem, why your AI so often seems to fail. Then, we'll flip that around and talk about the solution, what I call the art of the ask. We'll cover the mindset you need before you even start typing, dig into the incredible power of specific action words, and finally, we'll pull it all together into a brand new prompting playbook you can use literally right after this. All right, let's kick things off with section 1, why your AI fails. Look, it's a super common problem, but here's the big secret. It's usually not about the AI's intelligence, not at all. It's about a communication gap, the gap between the complex, brilliant idea in your head and the simple, clunky words you actually type into the box. And this slide right here, it just nails the entire problem. On the left, you've got the super vague request, tell me about cars. I mean, what is an AI supposed to do with that? It's basically an invitation for a generic, rambling mess of an answer. But now look at the right. Asking it to compare sedans versus SUVs on specific things like performance and safety, now that gives the AI a clear mission. The quality of what you get out is a direct reflection of the clarity you put in. And this is really the bottom line, isn't it? When our prompts are vague, the AI is forced to guess. And when it guesses, you get those generic, totally off target, and just inconsistent results that drive us all crazy. So getting good at this is all about bridging that gap between the idea in our head and an instruction the AI can actually follow. So if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, there's actually a name for this skill, and it's becoming one of the most valuable skills out there. Let's get into it in section 2, the art of the ask. The official term for this is prompt engineering. You can think of it as the craft of carefully designing and tweaking your questions to guide an AI exactly where you want it to go, to get that perfect, useful, or creative answer you're looking for. But let's cut through all the technical jargon. At the end of the day, prompt engineering is just the skill of asking the right questions. It has way less to do with being a coder and everything to do with being a really clear communicator. And that brings us to a really crucial point. A great conversation with an AI doesn't start when you start typing. It starts before that, in your own head. You have to be crystal clear on what you actually want. And this is where a classic goal-setting framework is, surprisingly, a huge help. You've probably seen SMART goals before, right? Well, before you write your next prompt, try running your idea through this little mental checklist. Just ask yourself, is my goal specific? Is it measurable? Is what I'm asking for even achievable and relevant? By getting clear on your own objective first, you're setting the stage for a much, much better AI response. This table makes the whole idea so obvious. I want to get fit is just a vague wish, right? But a SMART goal is, I will run a 5K in under 30 minutes by July 1st. All of a sudden, you have a concrete task that an AI can actually help with. You can ask it to create a 12-week training plan for this specific goal. That's the magic of this method. Clarity for you leads directly to clarity for the AI. Okay, on to section 4. So you've got your SMART goal clear in your mind. Now it's time to actually write the prompt. And believe it or not, the single most important part is the task. And it all comes down to the very first word you choose. I want you to think of your prompt like it's a train. The verb you pick, that's the engine. It's what gives it power and pulls everything else along. It is the core instruction that tells the AI what to do. And getting this right is so important because remember, an AI is just a giant pattern matcher. Different action words trigger totally different patterns from its training. So let's break down the main families of these action words. First up, you've got the generative words. You want to use words like write, create, or design when you want the AI to make something totally new right from scratch, like a song or a story or a business plan. This puts it into its creative mode. Next, we have the analytical words. Using analyze or critique or evaluate basically turns the AI into a detective. You're shifting it into a mode where it examines information, looks for patterns, and points out flaws. Then there are the explanatory words. Things like explain, summarize, or simplify. These words turn the AI into a teacher. You're essentially asking it to take a complex topic and make it super easy for anyone to understand. And what if you have a bunch of messy information? Well, that's where the organizational words come in. compare, rank, categorize. These tell the AI to be a librarian, to sort and structure all that chaos so you can make sense of it.
And last but not least, the transformative words. Rewrite, translate, condense. These are your go-to words when you already have some text, but you need the AI to change it or adapt it in some way. Seriously, picking the right word family for the job you need done is half the battle.
Okay, we're in the home stretch, final section. We've talked about the right mindset and the right action words. Now let's put it all together into a simple 5-rule playbook that you can start using today.
Rule number 1 is so important it gets its very own slide. Are you ready? Always start your prompt with the action word. Put that verb right up front. This immediately tells the AI what its main job is. There's just no room for confusion. And here's what that actually looks like. The weak prompt just kind of wanders around. Photosynthesis, I want to know about. But the good prompt, it's a direct command. Explain how photosynthesis works. It's so much simpler, more direct, and it will get you a better answer every single time.
The other rules just build right on top of that. So, rule 2, tell it what format you want. Don't just ask for a summary, ask for a bulleted summary. Rule 3, be super precise with your subject. Rule 4, don't try to cram too much in. Stick to one core task for each prompt. And rule 5, just double check that the action word you chose really matches that SMART goal you set for yourself earlier. This is a perfect example of rule number 3 in action: precision. Explain climate change is so huge, the AI could write an entire library about it. But asking it to explain the relationship between Arctic sea ice loss and global weather patterns? Wow, now that is a targeted question that's going to get you a focused, incredibly useful answer. This quote right here really just sums up the whole formula, doesn't it? It's one clear action word, plus a very specific subject, and usually a named output format. That's it. That's the magic combination that puts the AI to work for you in a really powerful, directed way. So there you have it. You've got the playbook, you've got the tools, you are ready to start getting dramatically better answers from any AI you use. You can finally go from those frustrating fails to a real productive partnership. So the only question left is, what are you going to ask first?